Good morning, everybody. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner. My name is Mike, and in the studio we have cousin Lou. How are you, Lou?
Doing very well. Beautiful day today.
And
Even
Lou,
you gotta like this day, right?
oh, I do. Yeah.
Not
Today,
too humid.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, you're having
Yeah.
problems. Yeah,
I
forgot.
the freaking tooth is driving me crazy. Um, we were up in Vermont most of this week, so I came back yesterday, and I brought you some nice, cool, refreshing, no humidity.
Yep.
You should at least say thank
I
you.
appreciate it. Thank you.
I just want to say, some things how it works in your favor sometimes.
What works in my favor?
Well, some days you got something planned and something happens and you can't do it.
Oh, you mean good luck? Yeah.
Yeah. That aspect of it.
Yep.
Mount Mansfield, it's the highest mountain in Stowe, Vermont. In all of Vermont, it's the highest mountain, and they have an auto road. So I decide that we're going to take a ride
You took the Genesis up there?
up
Okay.
the road.
Yep.
So I pull up to the gate, and I'm not one to use credit cards too much, to be honest with you. They don't accept cash, which okay, that's fine. I have a card.
Yep.
And all of a sudden she says, I want to tell you the clouds are really socked in on top of the mountain. So it's not going to be a very good viewing day, but I feel that I need to tell you. And then I looked at the board where she was standing near her little office there. They wanted $48 to drive two people, the car, me, and Barbara, up this freaking $48. I said,
To see
"Gee,
clouds?
I'm really disappointed." I says, "I'll come back another day." I made a
$48.
U-turn. It was like I won the lottery. Truthfully, I mean, it
Wow.
was $48.
Yep.
What if you got 2 or 3 kids?
Oh,
I
is
mean,
it per person? Or
it's-
is it?
It's
A rate?
it's 35 for a driver and a car, and I believe it's $13 for
per
another
person?
person. Yeah,
Holy cow!
that's not. Come on, will you please?
Yep.
But I love the Stowe area. I really do, and I want to say hello to Todd and Christy Rolling, and they run the bed and breakfast that we stay at, and they make you feel right at home. They're great people. They're from Texas.
Oh, nice.
So they were in for a culture shock about 5 or 6 years ago when they moved here. Hey, Lou,
Yes.
we have a show that I've been really looking forward to
Well,
this
I've been looking forward to
because
it
my
too.
knowledge of witchcraft is minimal, to say the least.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
would
I
say,
know
yeah.
nothing. So I know you have dealt with Leanne before. So why don't you introduce her and give her the plug that she deserves?
Leanne owns Pentagram in Salem. So if you want to visit Salem, if you go to Salem, visit Pentagram. She's a witch, a medium, and an author. Leanne, how are we doing today? I've been so looking forward to getting you two together.
So happy to be here. Thank you so much. I'm
Well,
thrilled.
It's our pleasure. Believe me. How do you want to be addressed? As a witch, a Wiccan, psychic? What?
All those things.
How is the
I'm
best
all
way?
those things. Just call me Leanne. I'm all those things. I do all those things. I'm a multifaceted person here. I am a psychic medium. I am a store owner. I wrote a couple of books, so I'm a co-author and a co-owner of businesses. And I also practice witchcraft. I am a priestess. I am a Wiccan. I am all those things. But first, before I was any of those things, I was Strega. I was Italian, and I practiced Italian folklore. And I'm sure a lot of you people are practicing Italian folklore right
To a
now,
certain
and you
to a
don't even
certain
know it.
degree. Yeah.
You're doing the work, and you don't even know it.
This is it. That's exactly it. You're often referred to as a traditionalist witch high priestess. Why is that?
Well, it's some of the traditions that I am initiated in. I have reached a certain degree.
It
That
sounds impressive as hell.
It does sound impressive. It really isn't. I have reached a certain degree where I'm in charge of running ovens and groups and teaching. So it's more of a humble role than as fancy as it sounds. because you're working with people. You've got to think about the priests in your church. I'm sure that to run a church, it sounds really impressive, but they've got to wash the tables, set up, and say the eulogy and inspire the people. So that's what that role is as a high priestess. But most of us, we all have a little magic inside of ourselves. So it's an important thing to kind of see that we are all individuals with special gifts.
Oh, you grew up in an Italian home.
Yes, I did. And still am.
Okay. Is that what got you interested in say witchcraft?
I was pretty devout Catholic, and
well, that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, I'm was a pretty devout Catholic, and in some ways, I still haven't let go of my Catholic saints, as I see them as magical avatars for us all, as they they represent so much. And a lot of our Catholic saints were magical gods and goddesses that the Catholic Church had. We didn't want to give them up. The pagan folk did not want to give up their Catholic saints. They didn't want to give up their gods and goddesses. So the church kind of, turned them into saints. So how I got involved into everything I do, it's like a calling. As somebody who was very, very spiritual, the Catholic Church only took me so far as a parishioner, because we're sitting and we're watching and we're learning, and we're not in an active role. Okay, we're sitting in that pew. Whereas with Wicca and witchcraft, we're the priest and priestess. We are all active in our groups, and we are the ones who touch what's holy. Okay, it's not separated from the people. You have to think, my church is in my home. It's not outside of my home. So it is a part of me day to day. I had very, very understanding and accepting parents who are Catholics. They're practicing Catholics. But my mother always had a little magic. Okay. And so did my grandmother.
Can you define what that was? That
is, my mother read tarot cards, more so playing. Okay. Not tarot cards. So she read playing cards. My grandmother, her mother, read tea leaves, did dream interpretations. The way they worshipped Mary, or Saint Anthony, there was an altar to them in the home. How many of you have an altar to a saint in your house? You are taking your gods and bringing them into your home, and you're actually empowering yourself by having a home altar. And I watched this. I watched my grandmother leave offerings for saints and little cups of wine in personal worship. And when I started doing that, well, it opened the door for other things that may frighten people. I think that, doing all those little things at home might make your kids and yourself witches. No, that's a personal choice. No one's coming to the door knocking, asking you if you'd like to, should become a witch. That was a personal choice. And I met the right people, and I got on the right path.
Now, I want you to reconcile your Catholic upbringing with witchcraft, because I have the pleasure of working with a couple witches, and I've been doing it for a long time. So I know what witchcraft is and how different it is from the general perception of witchcraft, which is the Wizard of Oz and, Halloween, and black cats and all that stuff.
You have to separate that. However fun it is, I'm not going to be like, ooh, I hate, campy Halloween. But witchcraft is actually so far removed from an aesthetic, from a cauldron that you put flowers in front of your house, from ooky spooky fun. That's nice if you enjoy that. It's silly. Witchcraft is actually a religion. We're not trying to recruit anyone. People actually have to study. You have to read books. You have to know rituals. You have to understand the dogma. You have to understand, and then you have to create your own. With all this knowledge that's out there, you are left to discover your own path and the way you think. No one's going to tell you how to view the gods and goddesses. That's something that kind of happens inside of you. There is nobody over you whispering that you it's the devil, telling you that you've done something wrong. There's none of that.
I'm surprised. As long as we've known each other, I'm surprised you've used the words magic so frequently and religion, because it has struck me as a spirituality. I've actually come to admire it as a spirituality, almost a philosophy.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah.
It's in our rituals. We have daily rituals. We have rituals to celebrate the seasons. We have rituals to celebrate the full moon. And we come in joy and love and trust of each other. Does it sound like anything that anyone else is doing on Sundays? We talk about love and peace and how to sustain the planet, how to sustain our relationships. That's what our rituals do. We're hoping to move the wheel of the year so we can continue life. We're all about fertility and growth and coming together.
Is witchcraft was it a pagan religion before Christianity?
It was a pagan religion. It wasn't even considered witchcraft. People looked up at the sky and worshiped the sun because it made the flowers and the food grow. They worshiped the animals because they helped us do our work and transport us. We had respect with the dirt underneath our feet and the sky above us and the ocean around us. We loved that, and we saw it as good, and we called it Mother, and we prayed to it.
So how did Leanne celebrate, say, summer solstice? Is that a special day? Is that a big day in the calendar for you?
It's a special day. It is the longest day of the year. I got up early in the morning with my best friend and business partner, and we went looking for St. John's wort, because that is part of the lore, and that flower represents the sun and the season and in beauty, in rebirth. And if you look at St. John's wort as an herbalist, that brings in the sunshine in your life. So it helps with depression. So a lot of stuff, it all connects.
It sounds extremely, extremely interesting. And the way you're describing it and looking at the way when you're talking, your expressions, I mean, my gosh, you're getting me excited. And like I said, this morning with a toothache, I'm not in the best of spirits, but you're making me feel good. You're making me feel
good. So. And a little clove oil will help you with your tooth.
What is it?
Clove oil. Yeah. My grandmother used to do that. Whiskey and clove oil.
Louis, I don't have a clock on the computer this morning, so when it's time for you to take a break,
let's take a break, because when I come back, I want to get into Leanne's background and her Italian upbringing through the class she's giving at Pentagram, because I think that's going to be an interesting way to introduce it about the saints and Italian folk magic, right?
Sounds good to me.
All right, so let's take our first break.
All right.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mikey. Do you need to have some work done on a cement walkway, stone steps, or the cement deck around your pool? Recently, I had concrete work done on 2 eyesores on my property. Work was done by New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. They service New Hampshire and Massachusetts. The question becomes, was Mikey happy with the finished product? Not happy, but ecstatic. If your project is brickwork, stone, or concrete, get a free quote for New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. A telephone number for more information, 603-438-9168. 603-438-9168.
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
and Mike Kunstler,
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
He is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, as they say. Leanne Marrama. I believe I'm pronouncing that right.
Marrama.
Marrama. Okay, we got it down straight now for sure.
Now you got it.
I find this topic absolutely incredible. Not only do I, but I'm noticing the people that are writing in. You look at Sandra Wright. I happen to know her. She says you spent the evening of summer solstice at her house.
Yes, we did. We had a wonderful time. There was a gaggle of witches, I'll say. And we all gathered and ate and had drink and feast, and we celebrated very well. And I
think that's fantastic.
This summer.
Andy Parisi is one of our loyal listeners, and he said to say good morning to you. Roger Trudell said to say good morning. And
Roger can do it himself. He's on the phone.
Oh.
Hey, Roger.
You got a call.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Roger. How are you?
Good morning.
I'm great. It's a beautiful day, and I'm sure your guests can well appreciate how great nature is, because what I'm hearing is they celebrate the earth and nature, and if you can call it a religion, which I guess it is to some degree, what I like about it is I've never heard about the Wiccan wars or Wiccans taking property or invading countries or any kind of punishment for not believing or doing the right thing. And that to me is sane.
Thank you.
Can you respond?
Yeah, thank you. We're not really angry people. Oh, I'm sure there are a couple of angry Wiccans and witches out there. They just need to have Snickers. They're just croachy. But we don't want to convince anyone to be a witch or to join our religion. That's a calling. You've got to be called to the priesthood if you want to. And we are witchcraft or Wiccan. We are now considered the United States considers us a religion. And in our national cemeteries, soldiers can actually have the pentacle on their grave site due to a lot of hard work that was done.
Roger, we appreciate the call. Thanks so much. Leanne, talk about pentagram, and that will lead us into the class that you're going to give on Italian folk magic and Italian saints, which will help us get into your background a little bit, which I really want to talk about.
I am blessed. I own this wonderful store with my business partner and friend, Pentagram Shop. We also own a lovely store in Beverly where I can, do what my grandmother did, which is tea leaf readings. And that is the Zodiac Tea Room. Okay. And we own both of these wonderful businesses where we offer readings, psychic readings, classes, and products that can help you bring some magic into your house. It's for beginners, and for skilled practitioners of the craft. So we have a lot of tools, altar tools and ritual tools. But if you're starting out, if you have any kind of interest in learning more about witchcraft, we have two great products there. We have books which so many books, and we have Tim Reagan, my business partner, who loves to answer questions for people looking to know more about the craft.
Outstanding. What do you have in your store in Salem? What kind of products can people take a look at or purchase?
If you are really interested in kind of manifesting, right now the word manifestation is really popular, and people looking to create their own future in front of them. If there's something you want, you manifest it. And what is manifestation? What is manifestation magic? It is literally, it's a prayer, it's a mantra, it's something where you put your energy into, whether it's a candle, that flame can build power around what it is that you desire. Incense that, carry prayers off to heaven, offerings, anything that builds energy and makes you feel a certain way and empowers you. So sometimes the light of a candle can really stimulate a person's, third eye. So if you want to open up your psychic gifts. So we sell candles, we sell magical oils, we sell soaps, and we sell all kinds of ritual tools. Whether you want to do some intensive worship or focus on a deity, we have statues for that. We have tools and supplies for people who are looking to heighten their psychic gifts. We have tarot cards, we have pendulum boards, and different things like that.
And a good example of this, Mikey experiences every year with the Feast of the Three Saints, and it's about the statues of the Three Saints. It's where all the energy is directed, and during the course of that festival, as is popular with Italian festivals.
Yeah.
There, and you go down to the Feast of the North End, and they carry out the Madonna on the Fisherman's Feast. Everyone stops.
Wonderful organization
on there. And she is beautiful. She, to me, when I see that, I see the goddess. And those angels, that's very pagan, guys.
You mentioned the Fisherman's Feast, and at the closing of their ceremony, they have a young lady who gets chosen, and they put a harness on a Louis, and she goes across, she flies across the road. Yeah. And that's but there's a lot of tradition to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tradition to that. And that's the highlight of their feast. And it's all about honoring the Madonna. And that group is from Shaka, Italy. And, it used to be all the fishermen used to sponsor it, and they were really big into it. Now the fishing fleet is very small. So, local restaurants, you got 123 restaurants in the North End. They sponsor a lot of these feasts, but unfortunately, Leanne, I know you're going to agree with me. More and more of the feasts are disappearing as that certain generation is disappearing, and it's sad. It's sad. I mean, they may have a procession, but yeah, it really is.
When we stop worshiping worshiping the Madonna, that's what that is. She's the goddess. The roots to the Madonna is the goddess. And when we're praying to Mary, we're praying to something even older. All those feasts and all those things we're doing, it comes from somewhere, and
no question. No question.
And then it comes from something else before that. So,
tradition and customs are so very important. And they're, right now in this country, they're trying to eradicate a lot of history. And I don't believe in that. I really think you can learn from history, whether it be good or bad.
Right.
I still think it happened. It's part of our history, Lou, and we should keep it. I was in New Orleans not too long ago, and, seeing all those statues, beautiful, beautiful statues removed, it's not right to me. You may differ about the person being honored. You may not like him. You may not like what he stood for, but it was history. And that's very, very important. I wanted to say, Nancy is saying good morning to everybody. And, I noticed Sandra Wright. Now, I know Sandra and her husband. Kevin, and he actually works here at the studio. But they're good people, and I guess
Sandra
you two,
is my unbiological sister. She is my sister.
Oh, I like it.
I love my
I like it a lot. Real quickly, I just wanted to say, my grandmother on my dad's side, she really believed there were certain spices and certain rituals and when I was like 5 or 6 years old, Lou, I'd have a bellyache, and she would put some kind of oil in my belly button, and then she'd do these chants. And I know it sounds funny.
No, I grew up with
but
that too. Yeah.
This is something this woman learned way back in Italy, and the little village that she came from, and it worked. So the other thing, she used to put a pencil and wrap it with gauze and put the wax from a candle and then stick it in your ear and then light it and do all kinds of, there was some kind of a saying that went with it. I get rid of my earache. That's all I know. Right, Leanne? I mean, some of those.
Remember all. This is my hat. This is how we broke. This is how we grew up. I mean, my grandmother would say, "Hush, little children, it's Christmas Eve," and teach us. We knew the Maloikia, and that's serious. The evil eye. That's a lot, and it's real, and it's usually done by somebody who's jealous, and sometimes it's done by people who love us and know us.
Well,
when I was a baby, and if somebody said, "Oh, look at that beautiful baby, look at that lovely baby, she's so lovely and strong," my grandmother would start spitting on
she'd
me.
get sick. Yeah, she'd be upset.
She'd get mad. How dare they?
Absolutely.
I'd be doused in olive oil and vinegar, and I'd smell like a salad by the end of the day. She would tell she'd be like, "You gotta keep them away from her." Then my cousin would say, "By the time you're done with making a salad out of Leanne, no one's gonna be around her. She smells like garlic. She stinks."
There you go. The Malocchi in Italian, very important part of growing up. We heard our grandparents preach it to us, the horn and all that. In your family, in your Italian family growing up, you had all the same thing, right?
Oh, the same thing. And there was so many different ways to bust the evil eye, whether, you used a scissors, whether you used a knife. Some people floated an egg over there. The Hail Mary was recited. Sometimes you threw it out the window. There were so many different ways to get rid of the evil eye, but we knew, and you could only learn it on Christmas Eve.
Wow.
That was the Christmas Eve talk? Evil eye?
That was evil eye can be only passed on Christmas Eve. And it can
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's only be passed. And there's also
I'm glad I got up this morning.
There's the Strega in the family, the one who has all the gifts, is the oldest daughter of the oldest daughter of the oldest daughter 7 times.
Wow.
Yeah. It was all these little things. And it's from where you are. What village, what region of Italy do you come from? If I know that my Sicilian uncle had a different practice than my northern Italian grandmother or whoever. It's just everywhere. It's ingrained. But the evil eye, it is serious and it is real. So you should wear something red. So on me, whether I'm wearing red or not, there's always something red. Whether there's a red string tied to my bra, there's always
red
something that could be on my undies. Who knows? It's going to be a mystery. No one's going to ever know. Yes, and Santa's reminding me of the feast of the seven fishes. And we have, even if it's just my mother, my father, myself, and my kids, we will serve 7 fishes. Sandra's been to my house for holiday.
That's a tradition that's really dying out now. I mean, we have.
No one wants to spend it, and they don't want to make it, and they want to do that, and that's too bad. I will keep it going for as long as there's breath in my lungs.
God bless you. That's wonderful.
What were some of the more prominent rituals in your childhood growing up?
So when I would get sick, now this is not even a ritual. I would get sick, and my grandmother would go, "You got to give it to me." So she'd make me crawl up on her and kiss her, and she would say, "I'm taking it for you. I'm going to take the cold," and she would try to absorb the cold into herself magically.
That's sweet.
Which was sweet. There was always garlic hanging next to the door to ward off the evil eye. And there was always a statue of St. Michael with a glass of water there or a glass of wine to kind of feed him to protect us. Because Michael also he's everything. He's in witchcraft. He's in every religion. No one can mess with Michael.
And don't forget it either. All right.
Yeah, and then you have St. Anthony. Poor St. Anthony. Why
poor St. Anthony?
Because we're always losing stuff. And we're always asking him where our car keys are and our cell phones. Will someone give St. Anthony a break?
Oh, well, I might need a parking spot. I can't give him a break.
There you go.
No, you know what? And he's for so many things. There are different Neapolitan spells that call on St. Anthony. And one of them, believe it or not, it is to gain weight. What the hell was
wow.
Yeah.
To gain weight?
To gain weight, to get a little fluffy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If you want to lose weight, who do you go to?
I want to lose weight. We all want to lose weight today. But back then, you have to think maybe people were trying to gain weight. They were hungry. And he's also a saint that you can call on for a long life, to make the best wine, to escape a violent death. You know, he's not just going to help you find your keys. St. Anthony can do a lot more.
There you go. Hey, Leanne, we're going to take a quick break, and we come back. We're going to be with us till the top of the hour. And I want to talk a little bit about ethics, because when you're doing a reading, ethics has to play an important role, I believe. And I'd like you to elaborate on that. Louis, if you would, could you take us out the break, and we'll be right back, everybody.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's seaside Italian kitchen and pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibe Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites, and the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once, and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at NorthshorePavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining dining experience to its customers at Restaurante Melisse. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844.
Hi, this is Mikey. Do you need to have some work done on a cement walkway, stone steps, or the cement deck around your pool? Recently, I had concrete work done on 2 eyesores on my property. Work was done by New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. They service New Hampshire and Massachusetts. The question becomes, was Mikey happy with the finished product? Not happy, but ecstatic. If your project is brickwork, stone, or concrete, get a free quote for New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. A telephone number for more information, 603-438-9168. 603-438-9168.
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy,
And Mike Kunstler.
owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at 4 Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back. You're listening to the Sicilian Corner podcast. Our studio guest, our special guest, someone that I'm finding very, very interesting. Girl, we got to get you back in here. I mean, in the studio. I want you sitting next to me over here.
We'll have a good time.
Well, I'm sure. Hey, listen, Sandra Wright says, what did St. Anthony ever do to deserve having to find everything for us? You know,
Yes.
Sandra, that's a good question. I mean, it's amazing where that must have started from. To be honest with you, it's kind of strange how they associate St. Anthony with, if you lost something, pray to St. Anthony, he's going to help you find it.
Well, saints are supposed to be selfless, right?
Yeah. Maria Quagenti is saying hello. I'm not familiar with Maria. She must be a friend of yours, Leanne.
No, not sure.
No?
Maybe she
Okay.
could have.
I'm glad
This is being streamed on our Zodiac page. Maybe she saw it. I don't know.
Okay. Before we went to break, I asked the question of how important ethics becomes if you're doing a reading for someone. Would you like to get into that?
Absolutely. It's so important when you trust somebody literally with your future, or if you're doing mediumship. I mean, you're humbled. You're communicating with somebody's family member who crossed over. You have to be honest. You have to be true. And here's the main thing. You know right away as a psychic if you're not connecting with somebody. You have to be able to say, this isn't working. This isn't working. Here's your money. Go. And that's hard to do if this is your profession, but you have to. You have no choice. And it's also to be ethical enough to the fact that you tell people the bad. People will sit down in my chair and they'll say, don't tell me anything bad. I go, well, then how are you going to change it? I think people don't understand why you're getting a reading. Why are you getting a reading? Is it just for fun? If it's just for fun, don't do that. Pick up a deck of cards and play yourself and figure it out. But if you really want some guidance, if you really want to change and manifest the things in your life that you don't have right now, then listen to the psychic.
So you're not reading destiny, you're reading path, right?
Yes. This is where you're headed. Do you want to change it or do you like it? That's literally the whole purpose. Like Sandra's saying there, it's the roadmap to your future. It is a path. So I want to be the map. I want to be the director. I want to be Google Maps for you. I want to be like, oh, beep, beep, beep. There's a roadblock coming right now. There's some problems coming right now. You might want to go here. You might want to go here.
You want to be Waze. You want to tell them there's a crash up ahead. So take an alternate route.
If someone's unfortunately is going to get very sick, do you tell them that or her?
I'm not a doctor. I work really hard not to talk about health because to me that's not ethical. All right. But if I see something, like you can really look at someone's health in astrology, and I'm not an astrologer. Tim is. Tim, if you want health intuitive questions, ask Tim. He will pull up your chart and see where you are in the stars, and that's a completely different thing. But if I see something, let's just say I'm like, I'm not looking, this could be health. I'm going to say, go to the doctors. I don't know. I don't know when people are going to die. I'm not God. I'm cool. I'm not that cool.
Or a spouse is going to pass away or something like that.
I will say I'm feeling.
That's not what you do.
Nope. I'll say that I'm feeling some grief. You might want to address this with a doctor. If I feel that in the reading that there's a need for somebody to pay attention to their health care, I will let them know. But I can't diagnose. Sometimes I don't even have the word, or I'm not educated enough medically to be like, oh, this is your hernia. I'll just be like, something's not okay here. I'm not liking it. I feel like you're headed down. I'm looking at your cards, and there's a very complicated path right now. Why don't we talk to the doctors? Because I feel like your career and everything else seems to be going good. So why don't you go to the doctors? Because I am not a physician. I can recommend herbs. I can recommend crystals to help you assist your journey with a medical professional.
Is your ability to read a gift? Is it a skill? Is it something people can develop, or is it something you're born with?
It's so crazy. Here's a yes with everything. So it's kind of like
is it really?
It is. So not everybody can sing like Sandra. All right. Sandra is an amazing singer. So I can't sing, but I can sing. Right? I can sing if I want to. I'm not going to sing as well. But if I wanted to be a better singer, maybe I'd get voice lessons. maybe I'd read some book on how to sing. Maybe I would do it more often, and then I could have it. But it's not my gift. I wasn't born with just natural vocal cords that or the ear to hear my voice. It's something I can achieve to do better at, but I'm never going to be Barbara Streisand. So if you have an interest in reading and you feel like, oh, I'm not intuitive at all, well, let's see if you are. Let's go digging. Let's meditate a little bit more, read some books about it.
What do you call a male witch? What is the right terminology?
A witch, whatever they want to be called.
Oh, okay. So a witch
like,
can be
a
male
witch.
or female.
You could be called anything. Mostly the witches I know, they're called priests. They're priests. They're priests of the craft. But whether you want to be called a witch or a warlock or whatever the hell you want to be called, own your
Okay, so
name.
warlock. I hear the word warlock a lot, and I always thought that was a male witch. Not necessarily so. That's not the right terminology, right?
I don't think it's I don't think it's a wrong terminology. I think you can be called what you want. I think if a man walked around and said, I'm a warlock, then that's whatever. That's what you want to be called.
Wow.
How many times in your upbringing, Leanne, on a weekly basis, did tarot cards come out?
When I grew up, no, it was playing cards. It wasn't tarot.
Oh, it was playing cards.
And I'm
Okay.
going to tell you, my mother, and she doesn't remember it, she bought me my first deck. Because it was, she bought me my first deck. And when I tell you where it was in my Easter basket.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Wow. You know, I still think about the movie, Lou, the Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
And I still get the heebie-jeebies after watching that thing.
That was scary. It was good, though. I like
that. Wasn't Hocus Pocus. I mean, and then you had witches.
Not a hocus. I like my scary movies to be scary. I like to be scary.
Yeah. You had TV shows that showed witches in a positive light.
Bewitched.
And a Bewitched.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really good. And there was a show called Sabrina with Sabrina
those
in
are
it.
fun. They're
Those
fun
were fun.
stories. Yeah, it's for fun. You got to separate Hollywood from the reality,
Correct.
There's a British, I think it's called Pastor Dilby. There's some British show, and they have shows about other people who are playing different roles from different faiths all the time. And, you got to go, hey, it's fun. Some of it, I think the question is, do I occasionally feel like, oh my God, why? I'm so sick of everyone in a pointy hat. They come in, they grab a broom, and they're like, oh, look, where did you park your broom? Does it get obnoxious? Sometimes I say to myself, on a day, grouchy, when I haven't had my pasta for the day, I get grouchy and I say to myself, I don't see people running around in costumes and other religions going, ooh, look at this. Ooh, do you believe in this? So, yeah, sometimes it gets at me, and then it's Halloween, and then I see somebody dressed as a pregnant nun, and I go, oh, well, that's not nice either. Well, so I shut up. Then I shut up, and I go, well, I guess everybody's making fun of everyone.
You know something? The word, what was I looking for? Some people think that you should be able to, you tell the future, or you do not, right? You're not a fortune teller. All right, you are.
But I'm not.
And then people are gonna. What happens when people?
I don't like it.
Okay. The question I have is, people will say, if they can tell the future, why don't they win the lottery all the time? How do you answer something like that?
Because that is a game of chance. Okay. And that's not something we can do. There's imagine that there's all these people who want one thing, right? And that energy gets kind of divided. But I can look into yours and see a windfall. I can say, wow, this is a good time for you to do this. I'm seeing great fortune coming to you during this period of time. But I highly recommend people not to. The goddess Fortuna, she is lovely and she is golden, but she is also fickle. Luck's not always a lady.
Well, Mike, it's like you with stocks in the market, right? You see a path, you can make a prediction, you can have an educated idea of where it's going.
You got a 50-50 shot.
Yeah. And in the end, there's a lot that goes on, right?
Amen to that.
Plus, they can change their path. Your companies can change their path and change their outcomes.
But you
Luann,
can do
we're going to be.
highly recommend if you're into stuff like that. There's a whole path of astrology that can look at when the planets are best for either gambling or for finance. That's an astrology thing, and astrology is almost like a tightly woven story of you and the stars, and it just is. It's not me. I can get mushy and go, oh, I'm so sorry. Maybe we'll do this, maybe we'll do that. If you get an astrology reading, black, white, that's that. Have a nice day.
End the conversation.
It's something else they're not going to miss on.
Leanne, in closing, why don't we talk a little bit about your store and where it's located, and give yourself a little plug.
All right, thank you. I have a Pentagram shop that is on Derby Street, right up near the Witch Village in Salem, Massachusetts. Come on down. I am there.
There's a statue across the street, isn't there?
No, a graveyard is a cemetery, one of the
Okay.
oldest in the country, and we're right next to a lovely Mediterranean restaurant called Paprika's. We also have another store, which is amazing, and we offer group readings, seances, and tea leaf readings, and that is at Zodiac Tea Room, which is on 5 Washington Street in Beverly, Mass. There's ample parking, and it is great there.
You know something? Once again, Lou, great job, because Lou
knew this was gonna be a
recommended
good
this show.
match. Yeah.
And you know something? I love it. And I know we didn't even get into half of what we wanted to talk about. But you know something? You're delightful. And I look forward to meeting you in person. And maybe Sandra can join us in the studio, and we'll have the both of you.
Yes,
I would love that. I would love that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a subject that, like I said, I wanted to know more about. I hope you learned something. And you know something? There's a lot to it. A lot to it. I hope you can tune in next week. We'll be back.
We're not here next week, are we?
I'm sorry?
July 4th?
We're doing a repeat show.
Okay, that's right.
And we're going to flip the coin who's going to win, and we'll see how that. Maybe we'll get in touch with Leanne. She can tell us. I don't know. Listen, take care,
Thank you
everybody.
so
Be
much.
safe.
Thank
Have a
you.
good time, Leanne.
Thank you.
Thank you, honey.
Happy,
Ciao, baby.
happy birthday, America.
Ciao.
Ciao.